All right, so let's start off by saying my name's Ben, and I fish a lot, so I've decided to record every time I go fishing, just because I'm out there anyway. So. And I have some footage, and I'm going to be releasing it here pretty soon. I've had to figure out how to edit videos, and I have 6 or 7 videos in a row I can release. That way, if I don't go for 2 or 3 days, I have footage. But I was sitting here thinking, and I've had some bad luck the past couple trips. If it could go wrong, it's went wrong. And I've done some mistakes that I learned years ago not to do, but I repeated the mistakes. And there's not many people that talk about them, so I'm going to talk about some mistakes that'll help a lot of new people. I don't know if it'll help some current fishermen, but the newer people to the game, it's game changing. Game changing. Can you even see me? Trying to watch what this camera sees. See, this GoPro is new to me. This is nice though. This is nice. So, making a video on the don'ts of fishing. Alright. Made a little list here to kind of help me. So, I did this one the other day. And I've got it on footage, so you get to see it. But I'm saving all my mistakes and for a bloopers video I'm going to do at the end of the year. The bloopers of the whole year, I'm going to do a video. All right, so a year from now, look for that. Let me tell you the story first. So, all right. I was fishing a small river. Well, I say small. A river, by definition is big, but it was a smaller river. I wouldn't call it a stream or a creek. Smallmouth. I love to catch smallmouth. Trout, smallmouth, and big panfish. All right, that's what I enjoy catching. My favorite thing. I'll catch anything. I'll fish for anything. Those are my 3 loves. So, smallmouth fishing. Actually, a rod similar to this one, so I picked this one. Different rod, but almost the same rod, same reel. I have a bunch of these Abu Garcia Black Maxes on eBay, real cheap. There's a guy selling them. Buy 5 or 6 of them if you're going to get into bait casting. We'll cover that in a minute. Anyway, back to the story. So, fish in the creek, and I get hooked up on a good fish. And I step on a rock, because I like to wade fish, all right? I like to get in the streams, wade the streams, the creeks, the rivers, and do that. I enjoy that. And I'm in the creek, hooked up on a smallmouth. I don't have the jig here. So, hooked up on, I'm reeling. Next thing I know, I step on a rock and I go under, all right? I'm just under waist deep, So I go underwater. Before I know it, I'm trying to catch myself. I push with my rod, I've done that whole whoa thing, all right? Well, unbeknownst to me, I had hit my rod tip on something, and I didn't break my rod tip. Rod was fine. I get out of the water, clean off, fish is still on, start reeling, all right? About 2 seconds into reeling, the line gets cut at my rod tip. All right, disappears. Ooh, and I'm like, man, what just happened? All right, what was that? I'm like, okay, I'm using braid. All right, I use braid, and then I use a mono leader. But man, I must have hit a rock with my line, and nicked my line, because braid, you look at it with a rock, cutting, All right. I pull my line back through, I tie on a new jig, and it went in like 2 casts, and I have another one on, right? Another one on. All right? Hooked up, sitting there, and as soon as I set the hook, I give it 2 or 3 good reels, and it cuts again at the rod tip. I finally get smart enough to actually inspect my rod tip. So, look at my rod tip, just like this, and I realize what I have done. Okay, so a lot of your rods nowadays will have ceramic or a carbide insert that makes your line flow through a lot smoother. Well, those inserts will break if you hit them against a rock, a cinder block, anything hard, they will break. I had broken mine, chipped it, and it had left a razor sharp edge, and that was cutting my line clean. All right? And I didn't know that until I inspected it. So, my advice to beginners is do not buy ceramic guides. I don't know if you all can see this or not. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. Focus. You can see a little black ring around it. That's an insert. That one will break, for a fact. Now, I did that when I was younger. I used to not fish with inserts like that. I would just buy the cheaper rods, like, yeah, like this. They have, oh, that damn thing's so flimsy. Stainless steel, just plain. Just because I didn't want to break inserts. And, yeah, it's a cheap rod. That's Eagle Claw, 6.5, I believe. It's a 6-foot spinning ultralight. Listen, best ultralight rods for the money you can get right here. Like $20, $30, something like that. I have had this one for good 6 or 7 years. Anyway, stainless steel inserts they don't have inserts, they don't break. If you're starting out, get you a cheap rod and reel. Because you're going to break, or you're going to cry when you break your expensive stuff. And I realized I just stood there for 5 minutes like, wow, you know. And to fix that, to do it right, you have to take a little tool, cut the tip off. You're not supposed to, don't heat your rod tips. Listen, I know there's a million YouTube videos that show you to heat your rod tips. Do not heat your rod tip if you break that insert. All right? That carbon, the factory rod, the epoxy will not let go. They say it will, but no. Take you a little file or a Dremel or something, cut around the epoxy, file that thing off, okay? You heat it up, you're taking a really good chance on ruining your rod. You can fix that insert if it breaks. A quick fix is if you just chip it, put super glue on it. It's not a permanent fix, but it'll get you by on a fishing trip. That's why you carry super glue in your tackle box. But it'll get you by, and then you really want to replace it because it's not going to get any better. And you don't want to lose, let alone 2 fish in a row. You know, don't do it. Don't do it. Watch your guides. Don't be a dummy. It's another thing. Watch your footing. When you're in a stream, watch your footing. Don't panic. That's another don't. When you hook into a fish, it's the most exciting thing in the world. You know, you cast out there and you hook into that fish, and you know, you cast out, you flip in there, go into that fish. All right, he's there. You know, you get it right. Ooh. Don't be like me. Don't get excited when we tell stories. Anyway, basically, when you hook into that fish, try to be calm. Because when you get excited, you do stupid things. Step on rocks, fall down. Drink your rod. You don't pay attention to. When you get that fish in your hand, then you can celebrate. Get excited, jump for joy, take your pictures, be happy. All right? You can be happy after it's in your hand, because until it's in your hands, you have nothing but a good fight. Sometimes you catch the fish, sometimes the fish catch you. Don't get excited. Don't panic either. You know, I've hooked some big fish. I like to fish ultralight. You know, I do panfish, trout. I've hooked some big fish, okay, on 4-pound test and 4-pound mono. Not even, you know, not 10-pound braid, nothing, just 4-pound mono. And it'll take you time, and you'll have to play your fish. You know, you have to play your drag, fight them, but you can get them in. Don't panic. Just play that fish. All right. Next thing I want to get to, and this just happened. I have it on footage. I had probably the biggest trout I've ever caught. The biggest rainbow I've ever caught is 36 inches. I do not have a picture. I cannot confirm it because I later fell in the river with said phone and lost all photos. Okay? So, all right. This is probably the biggest trout I've ever caught. All right? So, and I knew before I did this that I shouldn't have done it. If your gut tells you not to do it, don't do it in fishing. If you just don't take that chance, don't do stupid stuff. So, see, I could have broken a tip right there. Yeah. Or a guide. Don't want to open a pack. So, fishing the other day, and I got hung up in the rocks, and I didn't want to wait out there and spook the fish, so I broke my line off. Went to tie a new hook on. So I tied the hook on, pulling my knot tight, pulling it tight, clenching everything down, and when I did, I was looking at it and I noticed there's a gap in the eye in the shank of the hook. All right? Like that, you know, you tie your hook and then they bend them over, there was a gap right there. That 4-pound mono, real thin stuff, real thin. So I got playing with it and I pulled my line around and sure enough, my knot slipped off, you know. Went floop. And I got to thinking and I'm like, you know, how many times in my life has that ever happened to me? I'm always worried about it, but how many times has that ever actually like cost me a fish? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, hey, there's no way. There's no way a fish will roll or that won't happen. I tied that hook back on, you know, cut that off, tied the new knot, tied it back on, put it up. It wouldn't have been a problem if I would have snelled the hook. Anyway, so tie the knot, throw it out there. It was 3 or 4 casts, I guess, and I hooked him. Boom! Fighting him. It took me a while to get him in. It should have had no business fishing with that rod anyway. I have sent I had a setup, didn't think I needed it, didn't take it anymore, and should have took it. Anyway. So, hooked fish, I'm fighting him. I have him literally 3 or 4 foot from me. And I've got my net, I'm getting ready, you know, to net this bad boy. And he is along, I'm telling you, big trout, big rainbow, man. I see him, he rolls sideways, the next thing I know, my rod goes, and I'm like, oh no, how did he break my line? He didn't break my line. Still had my hook knot on the other line. He slipped that hook. Sure had it. Check your hooks. Don't tie on crappy hooks. Use good hooks. Buy good hooks. Several brands that are good. Buy good hooks. All right. I'm partial to Eagle Claw hooks because they're cheap and I've always used them. But it seems I get more like that on Eagle Claw than anything, and that's a I don't even know how to. That's a power hook. What are they? Gamakatsu. Gamakatsu makes good hooks. Never actually have found a Gamakatsu that has that problem. These power hooks are actually. Anyway. Speaking of knots, tie good knots. Learn to tie a good knot. Don't tie any basic knot. You'll lose more fish to a bad knot than just about anything. Bad line and bad knots. Don't tie bad knots. Don't. Learn how to tie a couple good knots. You don't have to know how to tie 50 knots. Learn how to tie 3 good knots. Like the blood knot, tying 2 pieces of line together. Learn that. Learn, I don't even know what it's called. Learn how to snell a hook. Learn 5 or 6 good knots. You know, I just contradicted myself. I said to there, but learn just a handful that you need. Don't tie anything. You don't want to lose a fish to a bad knot. No, just no bad knots. Use good fishing line. All right, I know fishing line can get expensive. All right, and you don't even have to use the most expensive, but don't use some Chinese $1 for 2,000 yards on eBay. It'll work, but if you're going after serious fish, if you want that serious fish every cast, you want that reliability, don't. Go to Walmart, get you some original string. All right, it's cheap, it'll work, it's the best that you're going to get for that price range. My opinion, I'm a big string fan. But I lose way less fish when I use string. Well, we'll get into that. Use good fishing line. You don't want to lose the fish to bad fishing line. If you don't care, or if you're using, 20 pound, 30 pound mono, it don't matter at that. For the most part, it don't matter. Now, if you're using 4 pound, 6 pound, 8 pound, 10, 12, 15, use a good line. And I only use 2 lines. I use mono and I use braid. I do not like fluorocarbon is not worth it for the price. I don't see that much of a benefit over mono. Like you can look at it in the water, and I just don't see it. So I use mono. Mono's real tough, flash to the rocks. Braid gives you the power to yank stuff up. Don't look at it with a rock. All right, if it gets anywhere near something sharp or a rock, your braid's gone. So if you're going to fish around a lot of rocks and on the bottom and snags, don't use braid. Use mono. You will lose more fish to braid. Now, if you're using open water on top, use braid. If you like to wade fish, like I do, fish from the boat, make sure everything's secure. I've dropped 5 or 6 cell phones out of my backpack. Just hold on. Just like this. Please, excuse me. I'll have the backpack on with whatever I'm fishing for in there. I'll always carry a tackle box for smallmouth, and I'll always carry stuff for trout and panfish. Those 2 never leave a backpack. Now, I have everything for every species of fish in a tackle box, but I do not carry all of it unless I'm targeting that species. I don't want to carry a lot of stuff. I'm real bad to grab, it's like this bottle of water, that's my phone. I'm real bad to put my phone right here. If you bend over too far, your phone's real slick. It will slide out, boom, right into the water. That's my fault for being stupid. Don't do stupid things. Put your phone in something waterproof, like my batteries and memory cards. Or put it in the backpack. Don't. And I keep doing it because it's easy to get. I can text my wife. I can take a picture. I don't want to have to. I lose more phones doing that than anything. All right. Organize your tackle boxes. You will love life a lot more if you have all your stuff. Get you some cheap $2, $3 ones. Buy like 10 of them. Hooks in one, sinkers in another, your floats in another, stick baits in one, cranks in another, spinners, panfish one only, smallmouth only, jigs. Now your plastics, that's a different story. Oh gosh. I just have big totes. You buy a tote, like a plastic tote thing, and fill it full of plastic. Because you will buy lots of plastics if you love to largemouth fish, even smallmouth. It's a whole different story. Organize your stuff. You will love life a lot more. It's nice to roll up somewhere and be like, gonna fish smallmouth. Don't be that guy with the tackle, 4 tackle boxes and 15 rods. If you want to be that guy, be that guy. I don't have time for that. I want to catch fish. I want to spend more time fishing, less time toting and carrying. I don't want to hate life. I want to enjoy life. That's why I fish. That's about it. I don't even have really anything else to say. Just have fun. I plan on putting out a bunch more videos. I try to go fishing 4 or 5 times a week. It just depends. And you haven't even seen me catch a fish. I could be, blowing smoke up everyone. But I guess you'll get to see. Like I said, I'm going to try to get a video out in a couple of days. Start releasing them. And I hope y'all enjoy them as much as I enjoy watching fishing videos. 31 years old. I've been fishing my entire life. My dad started us off young. And that's a world-class fisherman there, my dad. My dad is the best. Well, I'm the best. In my head, anyway. In my head, I'm the best fisherman. In real life, it doesn't work out that way. Honestly, I am constantly getting showed that I am not the best fisherman by these old men that like to sit around on 5-gallon buckets with their Walmart special rods and cackle every time that I get frustrated that they're wearing me out, Anyway, but in my head, I'm the world's best. That's all that matters. You guys should think in your head that you're the world's best too. When you walk out on the lake, you are the best. Anyway, guys, I'll see. I'll think of something for the next video.